Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a nice day. So, today we're going, inshallah, to start with a new lesson, which the title is I Quit. It is on page 40. Now, the meaning of I quit. Do you know the meaning of I quit? Now, when I say I am hired and then I say I am fired. So, I am hired, which means now they let me work in this job, while I'm fired means that they fire me. They tell me we don't want you to work anymore. While I quit means that I left my job. They didn't tell me we don't want you to work anymore. No, I just from myself I just leave this job. Okay. Okay, so let's move on. Now, we should have a discussion here, which is which one of these make people not like their job? Is it the salary, the money that they get at the end of the month, or the working hours? I mean that if they work like 8 hours, 9 hours, does that make them hate their job? Or the employer, who's the boss? Or the colleagues. Colleagues are the people that you work with, your friends in work, or the routine of the job or the workplace. Okay, now we will have a reading which is we have 4 paragraphs. In each paragraph, as you can see, we have names of the people that they are going to talk about their experience. Sorry. So now let's listen together, and we're going to explain each one of these.
I quit. 1. Reading.
Job forum. Someone's got to do it. Tell us your bad job experiences. It can't be that bad, can it?
I once worked at a sweet factory, putting sugar on sweets and biscuits. I thought it would be nice because I was a big fan of sweets. Well, I used to go home with sugar in my hair, up my nose and in my ears. It was disgusting, and the smell was so strong that I couldn't get used to it. I only lasted a week. But one good thing did come out of my experience. By the time I left, I had given up sweets altogether. Larry Mitchell, Southampton.
Okay, so about Larry, he worked where? In a sweet factory. You should know the meaning of factory, by the way. So he worked in a sweet factory. So he works in a place about biscuits, sweets, and candies. Now, what happens to him is that did he like his job? No, he said it was disgusting. The smell was so strong. The smell of what? Smell of the sugar. Okay. And how many days, how many months he has this job? Only what? He lasted a week. So he only worked in this place only for a week. Okay. But what is the good side of his story or his experience? Is that I had given up sweets altogether. So now he has good health because he left sweets. Okay, now let's move on.
I worked for one summer at a safari park. I liked feeding the penguins and the other animals in general, but cleaning up after them wasn't much fun, as you can imagine. The worst job I had was in the monkey reserve. You see, as visitors drove through, monkeys usually climbed on their cars for a free ride. At the exit of the reserve, one of us had to stop the monkeys from getting into the next reserve. I can tell you, chasing monkeys around with a stick in the middle of the summer is not fun at all. Dan Given, Hemsby.
So here with Dan, he works in what? In a reserve. Do you know the meaning of reserve? Reserve here. The word reserve means it's a place that they keep animals. When we have animals that they are in danger, like they are about to vanish from the world, we put them in a reserve. We don't just put them in a zoo, no, a reserve to take care of them. So Dan works in this reserve. He liked something about his job, which is feeding the penguins and other animals in general. But also he said that cleaning after them was what? It was bad, and he didn't like it. He worked where? Oh, sorry, he worked when it was what? In the middle of the summer. Easy. Now let's move on.
My job can be really hard sometimes, as it involves taking customers' orders, answering calls, and in general dealing with people and their complaints. You see, I work at a call centre, and the things I have to put up with are awful. Just because people can't see you face to face, they think it's okay to be rude. It was really difficult in the beginning, but by the end of the first month, I had learnt not to take it too personally. Once I got so angry with a customer, I shouted back at him. It almost cost me my job. Faisal Ahmed, Jeddah.
Okay, now we have Faisal. Faisal, he works where? In a call. He call in a customer's order. He works in a customer orders, means that he answer calls and he deals with people and their complaints. Okay, now about Faisal, he said that I have to put up with people who are what? Awful. Do you know the meaning of put up? It means that you need just to live with it. If you know the word in Arabic. So you just have to live with this thing. Even if it was bad, just live with it. It will be okay, or you will get used to it. Okay? So his complaint is that people are what? Are rude to him because he only called them and they don't see his face. So they thought that yes, it's okay for them to be rude. And he said that by the end of the first month, I had learned not to take it too personally. So he shouted back at some of the customers, and it almost cost him his job. So, is he fired? No, he's not. But it almost cost him his job. So he was almost going to be fired, but he's not. Now, the last one.
I often remind myself, no matter how bad things get, they could be worse. I could still be working there. I don't know how I lasted a month at the box factory. I'd had enough before the end of the first week. It was exhausting on the body. But what it did to your mind was most worrying. Boring just isn't a strong enough word. I worked with a man who had been there for 20 years. He told me he dreamt of boxes. He saw boxes when he closed his eyes, and he even tasted boxes when he ate. I was so glad when I was fired. Willie Hawkins, Bath.
Okay, now about Willie. So now about Willie, he said that he worked where he lasted in this box factory again. He lasted for a month only. Okay, and why did he leave? Because he said that it was exhausting. It makes him tired. Okay, and also he said that I was so glad when I was fired. Why? Because he hated boxes, and also he has this friend who worked there for how many years? For 20 years. That's why he was so glad when he was fired. Okay, so because it's only reading and we will have questions, those questions B, C, and D, and instead of just me answering them now, I'm going to put them in the electronic homework, and I need you please to answer them. So in this way I will make sure that you understand the reading. It's very easy, by the way. That's why our lesson today is not very long. Okay, so this is only for today. Hope you're having a nice weekend. Okay, bye bye.